Hey, what's up everybody? D4VD coming at you with another video. All right. This situation with D4VD, David, I guess it's something I hadn't addressed on this channel. Hadn't as much as uttered it. But this individual is, they call him a rapper. I ain't heard one lyric out of this guy that's a rap. He is a rocker. He is a rock star, okay? Let's get this right, because I have yet to see anybody correct anyone on this. He's black. He doesn't rap. He sings ballads, rather dark, morbid ones, to be exact. I ain't heard a rap song out of this man. Can we stop that sideways racism where we call every black performer a rapper? Can we stop that? Seriously. Because this D4VD dude hasn't rapped a single lyric in his life. Okay, let's just stop that. He is a rocker. So this is the first thing I want to say. Second thing I want to say is, why hasn't he been arrested? Apparently, there's a girl who's been missing for a couple years now. Since she was 13 years old. She was found in Hollywood, in his car, dismembered, at some, what do they call those, like, inventory spots where they leave your car, and if they're gonna refurbish it, or if they're gonna resell it, or if they're gonna take it to the shop. It's like a holdover place. I can't think of the name for it. But his car was in one of those places, and of course, naturally, people started to get the odor. They were smelling the odor, so they called the cops, and they found what they initially said was a toddler, but it turned out to be this girl. She was 13 when she went missing. Apparently, she's only been dead since August or something like that, they believe. But yeah, all the signs are pointing toward this David dude being the best suspect for the job, I guess. I don't know how to word that, but being the main suspect for what took place that forced her passing into its existence. All the songs that I've heard from this guy have alluded to murdering his loved one. He named a song after this girl. Her name is Celeste. He named a song after her. He brought out his main hit, this song that ultimately was a hit. I think it's called Homicidal Romance or something like that. I don't know. That song came out on her birthday. So clearly all the evidence is pointing toward this dude trying to be, and this is just my point of view, but he's trying to be ironic in a sense that everything that he's made has essentially been alluding to him either murdering somebody who happened to be his girlfriend, his interest. They put her name all through there. He's leaving the hints out there, just like most homicidal maniacs who want to be elusive but ironic, to say that they plan on getting caught. He's one of those. This dude, obviously, to me, somebody who's been paying attention to stuff like this, he planned on getting caught. Either that or it was subconscious to say that he felt he deserved to be caught, so he left breadcrumbs every damn where. But the point is, I think it's all but certain that he did this. And if he didn't do this, boy, did he leave it easy for people to set him up, because I don't think it could get much easier to set somebody up than what this dude left out there for the world to see. From what I understand, that romance song he made in a closet by himself on some type of like MPC or something, and it turned out to be a massive hit. I don't know that this is what sparked his career or not. That part is not clear to me. So my theory only makes sense if this sparked his career. He may have been a singer before this. He may have already had fans before this, as to which my theory makes no sense. But I think his whole purpose was to be ironic and be some type of legendary killer rock star. I don't think it was meant for him not to get caught. I don't think this at all. I think he meant for himself to be caught. I think he meant for it all to be ironic. And yeah, that's really what I think of what I'm seeing there in regards to the situation. It's super unfortunate. Condolences to this girl's family. I mean, this is heartbreaking to consider she was only 13 years old when she went missing, and of course 15 years old when ultimately she was presumed murdered, or definitely murdered. This guy still hasn't been arrested yet, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell are they doing. See, this is the problem with many things going on right now. I don't know what the hell's going on with our American government. Well, yeah, I do. But I'm gonna play stupid just for the sake of this conversation. Why aren't they investigating this to a point where this guy is still out and about? He's flying around the city, flying around the country rather. Obviously, he's been canceling performances. He was on some type of world tour. In fact, last I heard, he had a LA stop to make that he has yet to cancel. So he may actually still be performing, although I would assume he's going to cancel, or the venue will likely cancel. I think he's supposed to be performing at the Wiltern or something like that. I'm not sure, but like, this guy is a monster. I don't put that out there off rip. I don't give a damn if he did it or not. He a monster because of everything involving the situation. This girl's 15 years old, and he was her boyfriend. Now, granted, he's only 20, and I've heard the argument made for, well, you know, that's not that big of an age difference. You know, I heard King AK-47's point of view. He said this is very common in the hood. This dude ain't from the hood. If you want to make that argument, he ain't from the damn hood. Just like they say he's a rapper, he ain't a rapper. All things considered, this is a guy who makes white music. He don't make black music. He is an alternative rock star. When he opens his mouth, he gonna sound like one too. So all this stuff that people are trying to make happen in regards to speaking to this young man mischaracterize his image and mischaracterize his culture completely. The only thing he has to do with black culture is his skin. Everything else about that young man speaks to him having other alternative ways of doing things. And let's just be honest. If he was white, nobody would associate him with hip hop. Nobody would associate him with the hood or any of that bullshit. Excuse my language, but like, I'm somewhat irritated today anyway, so y'all gotta forgive me. But that's just the tone I'm bringing to everything I'm talking about today. But yeah, it's just, at the end of the day, I think this guy needs to be arrested and I guess given his day in court. You know, I mean, I have more colorful opinions if I'm being honest with you, but just to be responsible on a camera, I think he deserves his day in court. You know what I mean? I think he should be treated as if he's the #1 suspect and shouldn't be able to roam around like he is. There's too many things pointing in the direction of him having done this for us to be sitting here talking about, yeah, well, he's still free and he's canceling concert. He shouldn't be canceling anything. He should be in prison. He should be in a holding cell, rather, awaiting his court date. So I think the American government is really dragging their feet on this situation, amongst other things that we're paying attention to. I think they may be a little bit preoccupied, to say the least. But that's what's going on. This guy obviously has everything pointed at him being the one that did this. Every single thing, is so many different things, but every single thing pointed at him having done this. And given the fact that she was a minor, and given the fact that he made so many songs alluding to her, alluding to him killing her, essentially stating that he was freeing himself by killing her in his mind or whatever, and he can't believe he did it, he can't believe he's saying it. Like, the songs he came out with, that should have been red flags from the beginning. There should have been red flags from the beginning. Just like I said about YNW Melly. If anybody listen to YNW Melly's lyrics, you know damn well that boy crazy as hell. He made it very clear to all of us that he has split personalities, one of which is a homicidal maniac, in his music. And so the fact that he is now on trial for having murdered 2 of his friends, I think they need to be investigating to see if anything else happened in regards to him. Because I wouldn't be surprised if he has other bodies too. That dude is a maniac, and he let us know in his music. And this David dude, he trying so hard to be ironic. I just feel like he wanted to go down as that ironic heartbreak rocker who actually killed his girlfriend. Like, I literally think he killed that girl for that exact reason. I don't think he probably even had an argument with her or anything. People were saying, oh, she was pregnant. No, this dude just wanted to be ironic. I think he sacrificed his girl for the sake of his narrative, that he wants to surround his aura in his life and his ultimate and his legacy. I think this is what that is. I genuinely think that's what this is. And for that, he deserves a chair alone. If they prove that my theory is right, that this dude did all of this so that he can have the blaze of glory of being known as this legend who killed the girlfriend and told everybody, they need to give him the chair. Fry that dude. Fry him. I kid you, fry his ass. Because there needs to be an example made of people like that. For those who want to go down in this manner, that you will go down in the harshest of ways. Like, you're not going to enjoy your time. You're not going to just sit back and enjoy all the fan mail while you're sitting in prison. No, hell no, you get in the chair, bro. Or get to hang yourself somewhere, because I wouldn't be surprised if they find him unalive, because it just fits the narrative, you know what I mean? It really does. If he did all of this, chances are he ain't going to spend no time in prison. He ain't. So I wouldn't be surprised if he unalives himself for some stupid stuff like that. I expect it almost. Y'all should expect it too. But yeah, that's what I think of that story. I think the worst of dude like that, man. He did that to that young lady, or alluded to it in such a way so it would be so easy for someone to do something to her. You understand what I'm saying? Either way, I think he's a monster, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. Either way, that dude's a monster. Even if he didn't do it. The music that he made, the fact that she was found in his car, the fact that she was underage, got all this footage of him on Instagram and on IG Live, rather, with them together, hugged up or what have you. It's just, it gets to a point where it's like, yo, bro, I don't have patience for this type of thing. BDF44, if I'm being completely honest with you, have no patience for those who are selfish and attention seeking to this degree, that you would take someone's life so that you could go down in the blaze of glory as someone who did something like this. He wants to go down as like a Charles Manson type figure or something. Remember David? He made the song about killing the girl, and he really did it. He must have been so heartbroken he wrote all about it. Nah. Snatch all his stuff off of Spotify, demonetize this clown, and throw him in prison with the death penalty attached to it. That's exactly how I feel about that. I have zero patience for that. And that's really how I feel about it. I think any way they can, they should stop this narrative that he has going, that he's created for himself, if that's indeed what this is. Because my gut is telling me that's exactly what this is. He's one of those clowns that romanticized having a certain type of legacy. I think that. I really think that. And I don't believe he would be the first. And I would tell people, this is what's wrong with romanticizing serial killers and realistic artists who've actually done real stuff. We talk about even people who are victims in certain sense, like they herald 50 Cent because he was shot 9 times, stuff like that. This is the problem with that being promoted to young people, because you give birth to things like this being possible, where people look at the fame and the glory and the legacy of people like that and want it for themselves because they're so ordinary, or maybe they have a little talent but they don't feel like they're special, so they just want some type of blaze of glory type legacy. And I would say pop culture and all these different American culture, we've given birth to the possibility of something like this. Every time we turn on cold case files or any type of unsolved mystery type nonsense, you give birth to weirdo kids who are going to want to make a legacy of themselves doing things that are awful to other people. It's possible. Because I'm telling you right now, I understand having your heart broken. Maybe, he alluded in the song he had his heart broken. But he's also alluded a lot of times that killing her made him feel free. Killing her made him, feel like he, just different stuff that he said in the music. And it just, to me, it felt like he wanted to be real. And he wanted to be so realistic. He wanted to be like YNW Melly. He wanted to be like those guys who really lived their lyrics. It feels to me he was one of those who romanticized the legacy of being some type of ironic murderer. That's what this feels like to me. And I'm the only person I've heard say this. I haven't heard anybody else have this type of take. I really haven't. Everybody else is just alluding to, did he do it? Or they think he did it, but he probably did it for regular reasons. No, I'm looking at all the music that he made. I'm looking at all, and it's like, man, this dude is way too ironic. It's borderline corny, to be honest with you. It's like a dude who say, oh, I rob people, and then literally goes to rob somebody, not because he had that in him, but because that's what he wanted to do to prove that he was actually what it is he conjured up with his words. That's what I think of this David dude, man. I think he was that. I think he was some version, some weird modern day version of that. And she was a sacrifice to assure that that was possible. That's what I think. And for that, he deserved to be put under the jail, man. Literally. Literally. And so that's my point. That's my take on this David thing, man. That's my take on it. I know I'm a little harsh today. Like I said, I've been on edge all morning. I ain't even been right all day. It's changing my energy, and I'm not even sure why. But you know, it hasn't been a bad day, but I just been a little short tempered, and I'm sure it's bleeding through. But I think my outrage is righteous when it comes to this conversation. I really do, man. I think that this kid, you know, if he did this, which it looks like he did, he disgraced himself, man. He really disgraced himself. He took a life of a young girl who didn't have a chance to live, who was already just, you know, in a space where she had probably already lived a tragic life if she ran away from home at like 12 years old. From what I understand, he started grooming her at 12 years old. He started talking to the girl when she was 12. I think the worst of this guy. I really do. I think the worst of this dude. And I'm looking forward to seeing how our government approaches this situation, man. I understand that, you know, we live in a society and a culture that kind of surrounds my people. We don't wish jail upon anybody. I think that in this conversation, I betray that completely. I'm comfortable betraying that. I think that dude should be in jail for as long as it takes before they can give him the lethal injection that he deserves. I really believe that. I don't think turning him in would be snitching or none of that. I don't. I'd happily turn him in. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? That's just truly how I feel about this story. And I would tell the parents of this girl, I personally think maybe it's not the time for this. They're probably grieving. But I personally think that they need to be looked into as well. They need to be running. Because for me, what is she running away from home at 13 years old for? How neglectful have y'all been? How abusive have y'all been that she running away from home at 13 years old? She got a boyfriend named David. Y'all telling us, essentially you said your daughter had a boyfriend named David. Did you know David was 5 years older than her? Did you know David was making songs about whatever he was making songs about? Or did that start before, you know, after she passed away? I need to know, like, how was this okay? How was any of this even possible? This girl ran away from home twice. She was lost at 13, came back, and then ran away from them again? Y'all ain't got no hold over this child, nothing? Is she able to run around with rock stars, but be missing at the same time? She ain't, I mean, I personally don't like what I'm hearing being represented from her family. And if anybody, I would say that my gut tells me could have possibly framed David for killing her, it would be somebody over there. But I don't think nobody framed that idiot. I really don't. I don't put much stock into that at all. I think he did it. I do. I think he did it. I don't know that he actually did all the dismembering, though. He probably had somebody else do that for him, putting her in the car and all that. I don't know. I don't know if he had the stomach to actually do all that it took. I don't know. Zero context from which to understand. All I know is you got to be a certain type of sick, yeah, to do that to somebody that you supposedly love. I'll tell you that. You got to be a special kind of disturbed. So that's, and judging by the music that he made, he might have been. He might have been. But I tell you this, we need to do a much better job of starting to be proactive in reading these lyrics and listening to these lyrics that our kids are listening to and that we may be listening to. and start to really ask the right questions. We need to start asking the right questions. A dude comes out and makes about 7 songs about a specific person that he said he killed. Shouldn't we start thinking that maybe he's capable of doing this? I mean, honestly, bro. The only reason why I didn't think of this is because I had never heard any of his music. If I'm being honest with you, that's why that would have raised some suspicions for me immediately. But I was not up on David's music. In fact, I think I had clicked on some of his music, but maybe didn't like it. I think that's what it was for me. Just wasn't in the vibe for me. But I had heard of him, but like that was about as much as it was for me. I listened to his romance song. I thought it was one of the saddest songs I ever heard in my entire life. It was miserable. The song was miserable. It was absolutely dark, man. Well put together, very well put together. I'm not saying it was a bad song. I'm just saying it was just devastating. And it had a certain tone to it that when you see what we're looking at isn't surprising, because he captured the devastation of the circumstance in the music. He was really living it. That's what I gathered. And as I watched it on YouTube, the video, and looked at the comments in the video, that's exactly what people were alluding to 2 years ago when the song came out. They were like, yo, this may be the saddest song I've ever heard in my life. He's capturing a spirit in this song. This song is as dark as any song we've ever heard. Like, that's what people were saying. Like, yo, because he really did this. This is actually true. And so, yeah, man, once again, man, condolences to anybody that loved that girl, whoever loved that girl, if anybody loved that girl, seriously. For me, growing up, anytime I hear of a child running away from home twice, I'm looking at the house. I'm not looking at the child no more. I'm looking at who the hell are you that made that girl feel like she needs to run away from home at that younger age? What kind of household was that? Because 9 out of 10 times it was an abusive household. 9 out of 10 times it was one where she was completely neglected. And so that's who I'm looking at in this situation, along with that nonsensical artist, man, David, D4VD or whatever the hell he called himself, dead. I don't know what he called himself. But he's a monster to me, man. I don't respect it. And I want people to know, like, look, he may share skin with me, man, but that brother wasn't no brother, man. I'm sorry. We need to stop letting everybody, just because they wear skin, don't attach them to the culture. Is he black? Yes. Is he African American? Yes. Is he a brother? Is he of the hip-hop culture? Is he of the hood culture? Is he one of us, so to speak? No, man. That guy is not. No. We need to make that very clear, man. Just because somebody's famous, make music, and they black does not mean they are a rapper. Video 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.